Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the Journey to Greatness. Day 184 of 365 with David McDonald, the GOAT. And I think today, yep, 184. Alrighty, let's get to it. Alrighty, my friends, I will see you on the other side. I think that might have been a little premature. Yeah, I think we have until 24. All right. Alrighty, we just finished our meditation routine, so welcome back. Now we're getting ready to get into our reading routine, and right now we're reading "Relentless" by Tim Grover. We're about over halfway done with the book. We're on our 100-page stretch, which is amazing. Then after we're done with this book, we're gonna jump into another book that I think will be a lot better for like discussional pieces at the end of our sessions. But still, this book has been fire, taking our game to the next level. So I will see you guys on the other side. And if you have any questions, please let me know. We prefer to read books that are like paper books or like hardback books, because it's better for the eyes, especially in the morning. We're always on our phones, we're always on our computers. So it's just kind of good to rest our eyes by reading an actual book and getting back to the basics. So with that, I'll see you guys on the other side. Good morning, Auntie. Good morning, Brandon. I love you guys. I'll see you guys in a minute. All right. Mm. Right. Whoa. Whoa. I like that. Nice. Alrighty. Welcome back. Welcome back. We're smoothly just gliding through that book. I'm already thinking about our next one. I'm trying to think of what it's going to be. I have an idea, and I think it might be this conscious book, but I'm not sure yet. So we'll see. So if you're just joining us for the first time, we've just went through our meditation routine. We do that for 15 minutes. We just read through our reading routine, which is 15 minutes. And now we're getting into our journaling routine. And in our journaling routine, I like it because, well, check that out. We're almost done. We only have a little bit left. So that's exciting. And we've already finished 2 complete journals of just jotting down ideas, manifestations, plans, goals, our story, our biography. The journaling routine is awesome because it gives you, well, first off, I start off by saying what I'm most grateful for. And in the morning, that's being in exceptional health and waking up. So, obviously thankful for being here. And that's the first thing I'm thankful for. So then I go into showing my gratitude and my respect and not overlooking, my successes of yesterday. And then writing those things down, writing things that stood out to me, what I may have learned, what I didn't like about yesterday, and how I'd rather it be. And you can write alternative outcomes essentially for yourself. If you have ideas, dreams, manifestations, people that you're praying for, whatever it may be, things that you're going through, write that down in your journal, get it out of your head so you can have a clear mental space to create for yourself a situation that's totally opposite or even more so aligned with who you are. Um, Futuristic ideas, goals, how you want today to look like, what you wish to achieve. All of those things is what the journal is used for, and anything else you can imagine. So you can just draw pictures if you want. I mean, if you're an artist of some kind, you just want to draw. I mean, it's totally up to you. You have all the power. You have all the authority. If you have any questions about that, let me know, and I'll see you guys on the other side. Damn, today's Wednesday. That's crazy. Excuse me. Okay, welcome back. So, you guys actually won't believe this. So you know how when you go out to, like the store, right? You run into somebody you think you might know, and that person waves at you, they say hello, etc. And you you run into a person you think you might know, and you guys exchange hellos, and it's like, oh wow, what is the chance of that? Like I see you, blah blah blah. And it's like a cool exchange, because it's like I've seen you before in passing, or maybe we follow each other online, and we know, and I see you, you see me, kind of thing. And then you guys chop it up, you guys keep moving, but it up, everything's good. I had a really interesting thing happen to me yesterday. So I was in I was in Starbucks, right, for a meeting, which thank God I went to the meeting because the meeting was phenomenal. I got to meet Eric Ramos, who works with WFG, and he's a really cool guy, and his team. And for me, like everything that I do, I'm always looking to innovate. I'm always looking to be better at it. That's why this book, Relentless, is so cool because, like I'm pretty good at what I do in terms of my profession, right? And then obviously learning who I am, like all that stuff is just like, I think like I have I'm getting better and better at knowing who I am too, right? Digging deeper and deeper and dissecting out, and moving the pieces around internally. Like I'm pretty good at that, right? But I could always be better. I'm always a student. And that's my perspective. But I walk into Starbucks, and then like this gentleman, if anybody out there like looks at me, like stares at me, like if I'm in a public place, 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna say something to you, like, hey, how's it going? Hey, my name's David. Like if somebody's like pays a compliment and says, oh, like I like your bracelet, or hey, I like your outfit today. Oh, I like your outfit today too. Thank you. My name's David. And I introduce myself because it's just kind of like that as people, it's like if you take time to acknowledge somebody, which is something that we a lot of the times just do up here, when you verbally take that extra step to say something and you put your pride down or you just, operate in a loving, positively energy. I said that one time. It made no sense. I said that in the video, I think. But if you just do that energy of of positivity and you push that forward and you pay somebody a compliment, I only feel it's right to acknowledge the person back, and introduce yourself. But side note, so this gentleman, he gets up, he gets his coffee, he gets something, and then like I saw him move because he was sitting down when I walked in. I scanned everybody, and then he got up, he walked over to the counter, and then I had just got my my black drip coffee, and then I was putting my cream in it, and then I turned around, and then he crossed paths with me as I turned around, and I felt like he was gonna say something, or he was gonna like say something because he looked right at me, right? So I was like, okay, hey. I was like, hey, my name's David. He goes, hi, Mr. David. I know who you are. He's like, I follow you on social media. And I was like, interesting. I was like, what's your name? And he told me his name. And I was blown away. Like, seriously, I was blown away. Because it wasn't like, oh, like we've seen each other before. It was just kind of like, hey, like, no, like I follow you like on social media. And I was just like, that's really, to be honest, I was like, holy smokes, that's awesome, right? Like, that's cool. And what it did was it kicked me right in my butt and it said, hey, Dave, man, you've been slacking on your Instagram posts. You've been well, you never really were on Twitter. Unfortunately, I shouldn't be admitting that. But I'm on Twitter, but I'm not like on Twitter as much as I should be. And why is that even relevant? I'm not talking about from a personal perspective so much, but I'm talking more so from a business perspective, right? And so it just kicked me in my butt to say, man, you just don't know who's watching, And I don't know who's watching. I only know who shows up. I only know who jumps on the messenger board. I only know who jumps into our sessions and it says, Robin May. Hey Robin, if you're still on, or May. Hey Rob, hey May, how's it going? I only know if you join, if you join, right? And so it was just very inspirational. And the book is getting ready to go in because we're going to jump back into this now. But I just feel like I would share that because you just don't know who's watching, And I know we're not doing it for people, the things that we do in the morning. We're doing it for ourselves, but it may be somebody in a younger generation watching what you're doing, or looking for guidance, unspokenly. I don't know what the MO, like I turned around after I finished my meeting. I looked to see if the gentleman was still sitting there because I was going to go over and just talk to him, say, hey man, like what's up for you? What's going on? And just check in with them, make sure everything was good. But by the time I had turned around after my meeting, then he was gone. And I was just like, it's so interesting. So it's just do you, just do you. And that's what all this is about anyways, is about fighting our highest self, but you just don't know how you're impacting people unless they tell you. And if they don't tell you, don't feel discouraged or don't feel some kind of way. Don't feel some way about it because you just don't know. You just don't know. So we just have to continue doing us. And I think that's a beautiful reminder. And to be more consistent on our social media. But anyway, so Relentless. The whole summary or preface of this book is if you are, it classifies people in terms of three personalities or three types. You have good, which is cooler. So if you're good at life, you're cooler. And that's everything with personality, reaction, etc. If you are great, then you are a closer. When you become relentless, you are now a cleaner. So you're a cleaner when you become a cleaner. So you go from good to great, great to unstoppable. You become a cleaner. You become relentless. That's what this book's about. So you take your highest bar, you achieve, and then you take that bar and you go even higher. Now, there's a number of things which, oh my goodness, it just hit me. This book is perfect. There's a number of things that you're going to go through as you're going through these tough growth spurts, right? So as you become more consistent with your daily routine, and you push yourself, whether you have a family, whether you don't have a family, whether you have a significant other, whether you're single, it doesn't matter. No excuses. Every day you stick to what you have to do, not for anybody else around you. I don't care if it's a son. I don't care if it's a daughter. I don't care anything. At the end of the day, you put yourself first because your health and who you are and how you develop is going to make you a better asset to everybody around you, right? Your son, your daughter, your wife, your husband included, everything. So, so my point here is that journey can get very stressful. So the book has done a very good job. If you haven't read it yet, actually, Brother Ali, if you're on, good morning. You might actually really like this book, especially because Tim Grover mentored one of your favorite icons of Kobe Bryant. So if you're anything of a sports fan, this book is pretty good. And I'll give the review on it at the end, which is another thing. Sorry, I know I'm kind of I've had a lot of thoughts, and it came from my journaling this morning, and that's why I'm bringing them up. But another cool thing is, if you guys want to be plugged into your social media, write reviews on your books. So you don't have to be a superb writer, right? You just have to make an attempt because you just don't know what's going to come from it. So from all of our books that we read, I was thinking about going back and just writing like a 1-page summary or like a 2-paragraph summary or maybe 3-paragraph summary on like what the book was about, what it did for me, and then my overall conclusion of the book, or assessment of the book. Right, 3 paragraphs. So that's just something else to kind of plug in, just to create and build your network even bigger. So the book now is talking about taking responsibility for your failures. And that's pretty much my summary of these next pages that I've read. Failure to me is when you bring other people into it. When you're looking for an out instead of accepting your own mistake and planning a route to resolving the issues. Once you start blaming others, you're admitting you had no control over the situation. And without that control, you can create a solution. So, and there are times when you truly have no control. Absolutely. But at that point, it's up to you to figure out how to take charge and navigate forward. Otherwise, you're allowing external pressure to dictate the outcome. Create your own pressure to succeed. Don't allow others to create it for you. Have the confidence to trust that you can handle anything. I think with maturity and with more maturity, that the faster, in terms of self-development, what I've come to find out is the faster we can take responsibility for ourselves and our actions. All of the books that we've read will testify to the fact that we have to take responsibility for our actions. If we're living a certain life and our life is a certain way, there's nobody we can point to say, the reason why my life is this way is because that person did something to me. That's BS. Taking ownership of our reality. Oh, this is how it's always been. That is something to be coached around. Oh, I've always been this way. That is something to be coached around. If you believe that and you don't like your reality, you have to change something. So if I say I want to get deeper and be more consistent, then I have to change my reality. I got to change everything that I'm about. I got to change my lifestyle. I got to change and really change my lifestyle, right? And I can say that with the utmost confidence because that's exactly what we've done. But if your reality isn't the way that you want it to be, and you're like, man, my life sucks, or man, this is that, then there needs to be some planning and re-strategizing of your mental schemata, the way that your mind is pretty much positioned, the thoughts that you carry. And there are different exercises that you can do to help manipulate and poison your mind with positive affirmations rather than negative ones. This is how it's always been, versus I am a new person. I am energy. I am new energy. I am refreshed. My mind is aware. I am not, or you don't want to focus on what you're not. I am, a positive person. I am a loving person. Even if you're in a relationship where somebody says you're not any of those things, you've shown me time and time again. The one thing to always remember is you are not the same person you were 1 second ago. 1 second ago. 1 second ago. You are now a new person. And you're constantly evolving. And if the people around you can't understand that, then that's a discussion to be had. And it gets a little bit more complex because now when you introduce that concept to people around you, right, then some people want to abuse it because for you, it clears the space of non-judgment. So that means like because you have this understanding that everybody around you is always changing and is always evolving, some people think that they're slick and they'll say, all right, well, I'm not the same person I was. But in reality, it's like they're really not living by that law. They're really living by another law, and they're trying to show that they are living by that law, but they really aren't. And so being a person who understands that we evolve and we mature every single moment of every single day, you have to give people that space to grow. So they may do something yesterday to hurt you, yes, but now they've had 24 hours to change. You don't know what happened to them in that 24 hours, right? If you're not talking to them or if you haven't spoken to them. And so that ability to change could be there. So as people who move through this world, we have to leave that space for others to grow and mature into that same energy playing field. I know. You're probably thinking, well, what the heck? Like, but that's just, I'm going to drop that seed and then we'll come back to it later on. But that's a lifestyle change. And you got to believe and just trust in the process and trust that people can change. Or you just distance yourself from them. If they're not showing obviously that they want to make a difference or they want to change the dynamic of the discussion, then you just gotta distance yourself. You love them, give them the space to change, but they're no longer serving you and your highest purpose. You gotta let them go. And I mean, that's just facts. So have the confidence to say when you've screwed up, and people will respect you for it. If you did it, own it. If you said it, stand by it. Not just the mistakes, but all your decisions and choices. That's your reputation. Consistency is the new currency type of thing. Make it count. If you want your opinions to have value, you have to be willing to put them out there and mean what you say. 2 things you can't let anyone take from you. You can't let them take away your reputation, and you can't let them take away your balls. He's probably talking about basketballs. That means accepting the pressure of taking responsibility for everything you say and do. That's an interesting one. I had a situation where I was supposed to be at an event, but I was at another event, and the event that I was at was remarkable, life-changing, and it wasn't over yet. But I made a commitment to go over here to this other event, right? So I was like in the middle of this dilemma. And I'm a true fan of, like, if I say it, then I need to execute on it and I need to do it. And that's the golden window of opportunity that we've talked about for the last 6 months. Exercising on that golden window of opportunity, most people try to cross the bridge and then fall down because they think I got to do it, but then they don't move forward and do it. Well, then I met Rochelle. Rochelle's an awesome person. If you're out there, hi. And she told me, she said, hey, it's okay for you to make a commitment. And if you're at something or if you're at an event or what have you, and everybody's on the same page, it's always okay to just say, hey, I'm not going to make it. I'm at another event and it's still going on, and whatever. And it's okay for you to audible, not to be a flake. That's a different story. And I'm not saying for anybody out there, but for me personally, not to flake, not to, I'm going to go and then, well, something else came up. No. Not like that. But like, if you double book yourself and there's an event or something happening, in my natural mind, it's like, no, you have to go to that event. If you said you're going to be there, you got to go be there. But it's okay to change too, and not to be so hard on ourselves about it, is what I'm saying. So there's a balance. I can't tell what the perfect situation would look like, but in that situation, for me to go from one place to another place, I could have easily just said, hey, communicatively, hey, I'm going to catch you on the next one. Let me know when it is. I'll make sure I'm there. And then you make sure you're there. Right. And so have the confidence, take responsibility, maturity, experience, practice. The more educated you become, the more you heighten your ability to adapt to situations, because experience gives you a better understanding of nuance, the tiny details no one else would think of or recognize as important. So the more you educate yourself, the more you put this self-taught material inside of your brain, into your soul, into your heart, the more you listen to audio tapes, the more you listen to perspectives, whatever it is, politics, education, the more that you do this, the more of an asset you become to life. So the reason why you want to become an asset to life, because as we go through this life journey, we're going to attract people. We're going to attract who we are. So as we evolve every single second of every single day, we're putting out energies into the ether and into the universe, and radio tower signals to say, look, this is my new frequency. And because we're constantly adjusting the people around us who are no longer serving us, right? They're slowly just segueing themselves out. Then you start to bring other people in who fill that origin of space. And then you evolve and transcend to even higher levels because you all are operating on that same wavelength. I'm not talking about accepting a single set of rules, taking what one person thinks and making it your own. I want you to put together your own composite of learning, taking what you know and believe, adding what others have taught you, combining everything you've learned, and creating your own set of beliefs. Not one directive that was set by someone else, but establishing your own. One second here. So, I want to make this clear, very, very clear. Yes, the journey to greatness is a platform for everybody to jump on, and I can be your backbone for accountability, right? And I know that everyone online serves as my backbone also. And the one thing I do is I appreciate the community. I can't tell you how much I appreciate the community. But the one thing I never want to happen is groupthink. Groupthink is when one person or everybody in the group thinks something, and then there's one person who has an idea. But because everybody in the group thinks something, this one person with that idea can't speak. Or groupthink takes over the entire situation, right? That's groupthink. We all are our own people. So use the platform to help you transcend to the next level in who you are and what your mission is here on earth. And I think that statement that I just read will come out in the form of you creating your own learning space and your own curriculum, essentially. The books that we read, I think, are absolutely amazing, and there's something to consider if you don't know where to start. And so I'll leave it at that. Now, there's a lesson that I'm going to end with. I think that's the last part that Tim Grover introduced to me today. Two bulls stand on the top of the hill. Pause. When you're young, you have one speed, fast. As you mature, you learn to vary your speed based on the situation. You know when to go slow. You know when to go full out. Example. Two bulls stand on the top of a hill. A father and a son looking down on a field of cows below. The son can't wait. Come on, let's go. We got to run down and get some of those cows. And the father looks at him slowly, wisely, and says, no, let's walk down and get all of the cows. Instinct, not impulse. And I'm going to leave it with that, and I'm going to tie that back into yesterday's reading, because in the last couple of days, we've been talking about going into our dark side and using the power from our dark side to create greatness and unstoppable, relentless energy, and finding the balance. We've talked about autosuggestion, which means the more time you spend building yourself up and growing yourself, your autosuggestion box, for everyone who's new, when thoughts and ideas from the outside world, anything that comes through this autosuggestion box, you have poured so much love. You have poured so much care. You have poured so much energy into building your perception funnel to a place of, when that message comes through, negative or positive, it comes through and then you download it a certain way. Instinct. The more and more you do that, instinct. The more and more you mature, instinct. The more patience you have, instinct. So now you start to build a resistance, and you start to build who you are as a person, and how you are going to allow things to bother or affect you. And the stronger you become, the more wise you become by writing out your ideas, getting them out on paper, seeing where your ideology is, seeing where your psychology is, seeing what gets you going. And you get to go back and read this stuff, and then correctively going through and saying, no, that's not who I am. I am a woman of, I am a man of, and you write those things down and you live and you remind yourself every single morning, every single day, all throughout the day, you start to correct your instinct reaction. So an easy one is if you're somebody who gets antagonized easily and you feel like you're getting threatened, natural thing is to punch or swing or to go through a verbal exchange with the person. Sorry, about to sneeze. Give people what they give you, kind of thing. Excuse me. Give people what they give you, right? Dish out what they dish out to you. But when you start to instinctively change your ideology and where you come from in terms of your heart and your chakra, then you start to change the way you respond, and then you diffuse situations so much quicker, because there is no I'm right and you're wrong. It's I'm taking responsibility for who I am and what I have to offer. You're offering something to me. I'm not going to accept it at this time. I still love you. Your opinion is not right and your opinion is not wrong, or it very well is right for you, but it's not right for me. And it's done. So I think with all of that combined, it's instinct. So it's about how we shape our instinct. It's how our instinct will determine how we respond to problems. Our instincts will determine how we respond to challenges. But at the end of the day, like this book said, and like we've said before in the past, we will never fail. And the more you educate and the more in tune you are with yourself, and you know, like, oh crap, that's an emergency, kind of thing. So with that, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Good morning, Jay. Good morning, Padilla. Good morning. Good morning. Wait, is that Poppy or is that Junior? Oh, hey, Poppy. Good morning. So everybody out there, I hope you have the best day of your life. Thank you to everybody who jumped on the messenger board this morning. I appreciate you. And good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning, Carl. How's it going? Making waves, man. But have the best day of your life. Thank you so much. A day 184 of 365 with David McDonald, the GOAT. And always remember, you're the greatest of all time at what you do. And so am I. So with that, together we can be great. Change the world. I'll see you guys tomorrow at 5 a.m. Have a good day.